Assalamu alaikum. This is Maham Feroz, Marketing Officer from Pvt Education. I am here to conduct the interview of Mr. Suleman Asad, who is the country representative of Flinders University, Australia. He's dealing with the students' applications and their queries related to admission. So, sir, if you would like to add something, otherwise we should proceed with the interview.
Assalamu alaikum, Maham. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, very rightly said. I am responsible for a lot of things that happen in Pakistan in terms of student recruitment, in terms of operations, and in terms of marketing activities. So I'm very happy to be a part of your event today, and extremely excited to answer a few questions that you might have for me or your students must have sent to you.
Okay, sir, so we should begin. Thank you. So, sir, first question I would like to ask is, what are the main attractions of your location and support for international students?
Right. So Flinders University is located in Adelaide, which is in South Australia. So there are a lot of attractions which are now associated with our city and with the region itself. So the biggest thing that you might know of is that Adelaide is a regional city. And because we are a regional city, it kind of becomes a safe haven for students, for international students who wish to come into Australia to study, where they get additional points for permanent residency, where they get additional year for post-study work visa. So there's a lot that the city offers to students. Secondly, people generally call it a very small city. They call it a small town. There is another myth where people tend to call it a suburb within a suburb, which is practically impossible. So Adelaide is a full-fledged city which offers anything and everything that an individual wants and needs for their daily life and for their survival. Jobs are available, infrastructure is there, more development from the government side is coming. So a lot is happening in the city. These days, especially even during COVID, a lot of developmental work is happening for sure.
So this is, I think, a great opportunity for the students if they would like. So what would be the entry requirements for the undergraduates and postgraduates at Flinders University? And what are your tuition fee structures for those students?
Right. So entry requirements tend to differ from course to course. If I may tell you about the undergrad studies at Flinders, one thing which is very important for you and for everyone to know is we do not accept intermediate students, which is year 12 directly, whereby those students have to come in via a foundation or a diploma route from one of our approved partners. That's one. Second, as far as the students who are studying A-levels or who are studying their IB are concerned, or students who are doing their BCom or have already started their bachelor's and now wish to switch to Australia for further studies. So entry requirements may differ for all of them. For instance, as you might know, there are A-level points associated to every grade that a student attains in A-levels. So A-level 6 points is the starting point of entry at Flinders. It goes all the way up to A-level 13 to 14 points, depending on the program that a student wishes to study. In terms of postgrad, since Pakistani universities are differentiated in 4 different categories, so it's assessment level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we accept students from section 1, 2, and 3 universities. They should have a CGPA to percentage conversion of 60% and over, and they will get an admission at Flinders University.
All right, sir. So, sir, according to you, what are the famous subjects for Pakistani students at your prestigious university? And is there any different ranking for each department?
Very good question. So when it comes to the rankings of our colleges, so we rank from top 50 in the world all the way up to top 350 in the world. We have more than 300 courses that we teach at the university. So anything and everything that a student wants to study is available at Flinders pretty much, excluding a few. But I think we cannot offer like literally all of the courses which are kind of new. So the beauty about studying at Flinders is courses are accredited, courses are globally recognized, that is A. B, the question of what are the most popular courses amongst Pakistani students. So in my 3 years of being associated with the university, I have seen IT, public health, business, engineering, and I've also come across allied health sciences students as well in these 3 years that I've spent with Flinders. Now, when I say courses of IT, we have computer science, we have information technology, we have artificial intelligence, network and cybersecurity, data science, technology. When it comes to engineering, we teach civil, electrical, electronic, mechanical, robotics. All sorts of engineering courses are available at the university. Then public health, of course, the name says it all. Masters of Public Health is a very popular program for students in Pakistan. It's a 2-year degree and leads to post-study work visa. And then when it comes to allied health sciences courses, we have seen keen interest of students in courses like speech pathology, physiotherapy. So these are the courses that we have seen most Pakistani students showing their keen interest in. And one more thing, Maham, that I would like to add, since we're talking about the courses that we teach, the best thing that Flinders University is doing for their students is aligning 95% of the degree programs that we teach with work integrated learning. Now, the concept of work integrated learning is fairly straightforward. In the last year of education, student gets an opportunity to work in the field of their education to attain full-time work experience. So it varies from 8 weeks and can go all the way up to 20 weeks. This is going to be an unpaid opportunity, but definitely is going to reflect full-time work or full-time work that you have done in your resume, so that an employer who is sitting in front of you for an interview gets to know that you know how the Australian corporate culture works, how the Australian environment and the Australian corporations, they help their employees in learning, how they move their employees forward when it comes to giving them promotions, how the actual cycle of business works in Australia. So these are multiple factors which are incorporated with our degrees, just so our students can easily get full-time job opportunities after they graduate. Hence, the employment success ratio of Flinders University was 96.8% up until last year. And this is a global percentage that I'm telling you. So there is a lot of opportunity that the university is offering to its students just by attaching our name on their resumes, on their overall student profile.
I hope students wouldn't want to miss this opportunity. So let's see what are the main what accommodations Flinders University provide, like the cost of living and the overall cost.
Okay, so the beauty about coming to Adelaide for studies is that Adelaide is the most cost effective and the most affordable city of entire Australia. So if you would like a comparison of Adelaide between Sydney and Melbourne, so approximately we are 18 to 20% affordable than those cities. So by the word of it, it clearly shows that it's not going to be tough on a student's pocket, even if they're working part-time. Secondly, in terms of accommodation, there are two options for students at the moment. So there is on-campus accommodation, which is available, and then there is off-campus accommodation, which is available. Either way, a student will be paying a fairly less amount as compared to any other city or any other region of Australia. So monthly expense potentially can start from $1,000 and may go up to as much as a student wishes to spend. Many of our students who are staying in Adelaide at the moment are not spending anything more than 1,000 to 1,100, to the best what we know, because we are in contact with almost all of them. And when we ask them as to how easy is it to earn all of that money that you're paying in terms of your living, they tend to tell us that it's fairly easy because they've all gotten part-time jobs. They're all earning good amount of money. Minimum wage rate of Adelaide during COVID has also increased, which has shown keen interest to employees and to employees as well as to new potential international students. Therefore, now South Australia and Adelaide is being highlighted and is being promoted to the core just because of these sort of opportunities which are available for students.
All right, sir. So what scholarship opportunities do you provide, and what is the eligibility criteria?
Right. So the scholarships that we have go by the name of Go Beyond scholarships. So we have two main streams of scholarships. One is for undergrad, the second is for postgrad. In undergrad, we have three different types of scholarships. So first, we have a global scholarship of 20% on the entire duration. Second, we have the excellence scholarship of 25% on the entire duration. Third, we have the Vice Chancellor Excellence Scholarship, which is 50% on the entire duration. Then, if you'd like to know about the eligibility criteria, so as I said that we measure A-level grades with numbers. So students coming in with A-level 7 points, they will get 20%. A-level 10 points will get 25%. A-level 13 points will get eligible for the 50% scholarship that we offer. Now, 50% scholarship has a pool of students where an eligible student will have to fill out a form. It's a 2-page form where they have to answer 3 questions. And based on their answers and based on their academic credentials, the decision will be made if that student is eligible to be taken to the next step. Now, when it comes to postgrad, there are 2 scholarships. One is 20% on the duration, and second is 50% on the entire duration. For all students, irrespective of what section of University of Pakistan they're coming in from, if they have a 2.85 CGPA or they have 72%, they become eligible for the scholarship. For 50%, students should have a 3.73 CGPA or 93% as a conversion of that CGPA to become a part of the pool of the 50% scholarship that the university offers. For 20%, there are no such deadlines, or for 25% in undergrad for that matter. But for 50%, obviously there are deadlines, and then the university tends to announce which student has received that scholarship. So as an example, for the upcoming July intake, the deadline was 31st of May. And today in the morning, the management has sent out emails, and Alhamdulillah, Pakistani students were a part of those emails, which is a very good sign that you have been shortlisted for this 50% scholarship. And now this is the next step. Upon the successful completion of that next step, we will inform you if you are receiving that scholarship or not. So 50% has a deadline attached to it, generally 2 months before the commencement of semester. But for 20%, even if a student wishes to apply, let's say in the next 15 days, if they're eligible, they will definitely get that scholarship.
So, sir, as you mentioned the about the eligibility criteria, so are you currently accepting the applications, or like the students who haven't gotten their results up till now, or so do you enroll them according to the predicted results of O and A levels and HSSC?
Yes. So for O-level predicted results, no. But for A-level predicted results, yes. Because as I said earlier, that year 12 is something that we do not accept directly into the university. Rather, we accept students who have completed their A-levels. So for anyone who has a predicted grade result in their hands at the moment, can apply for Flinders University, and they will receive an offer letter for March 2022 intake, which is going to be first semester of the next year. So yes, we do accept that.
All right, thank you. So, sir, as we know that Australia have been taking strict measures and have placed a travel ban on all the non-residents. So, when the borders of Australia will be open for the students who are willing to study abroad?
Well, if it was in my hands, I would love to open the borders like literally right now. But there's a lot of news coming out from Australia on a daily basis. most of which are just assumptions which are written in an article. One good news that I would like to share with you using your platform um, is that South Australian medical officers have given their consent that we are happy to convert one of the airports in South Australia as a quarantine facility. And keeping that in mind, we would like to send you a proposal of opening the borders for South Australia. Now, if that happens, because federal government is yet to see and review that document, but if that happens, then definitely what we can see and what we have understood from those articles after the budget in Australia is that if that is approved, then South Australia might start operating flights and bringing in international students. So
We
fingers
hope for the
crossed,
best.
a lot
We
is
hope for
happening.
the best, sir. Inshallah. So what if it gets open, inshallah? So what different safety measures are taken by the university against the corona pandemic for the international students?
So the borders are closed since March last year. And as you know, we have all been affected with COVID since that time only. The university was hardly closed for a few weeks because there were not many cases in South Australia. Their medical teams have dealt with the virus adequately and in time. Therefore, they were able to stop widespread of this virus. So the precautions that we are taking and what we will take in the future as well is definitely going to be social distancing. Now we are yet to receive a few protocols from the government as to what the vaccine, what sort of a vaccine will be accepted in Australia. That's number one. And what sort of protocols or safety measures should a student undertake before entering the country? So these are a few things which are yet to be finalized, and they will only be informed to us once the Prime Minister of Australia takes a lead on this.
All right, sir. So, sir, does your university offers online degree program for the international students?
Yes. So since last year, July, we are offering online classes, which has been a good success. Obviously, it was very hard for South Asian students to adopt and accept the change. But the good thing is that now even these students are happy with the way we are conducting our online classes, as well as with the way the online structure will eventually convert into face-to-face learning. So it's an ideal opportunity for students who are aspiring to study in Australia but have not started their education just because of the fears of online learning. The university has become extremely flexible in terms of course selection and in terms of the load that a student will study. So primarily in a semester, a student studies 4 topics, but for online classes, we have given the flexibility and we have gotten that down to 1 topic, and a student can enroll and study 1 topic with us in the entire semester, do its assignments, tests, exams, everything, and they will receive their credit and their transcript separately for the semesters that they're doing online. One more thing that the university started last year, which was never done before, was the October intake that we introduced as a trimester. And we introduced 2 business degrees to be taught in that semester. So we are yet to decide if we are offering the same this year or not. But let's see as to what happens once we close the July intake, and then we will announce if the October intake is going to go live this year or not.
Okay. So, in online education, are there any other benefits that are provided to the students?
Other benefits like?
So, like when you study on campus, so there are work permit and the placement things. So, in online, what other benefits students get?
Right, right. I now got your question. So, this is not a statement from me. This is a statement from a government official of Australia, and it's mentioned on the website as well. Whosoever starts studying online, their post-study work visa is not affected. As far as if they are a master's student, they are studying a 2-year degree program. For undergrad, it's never affected because their degrees are 3 years and over. So in order to be eligible for post-study work visa, a student has to study a degree of 2 years. Now, if they study 2 semesters in Pakistan, which is online, let's say, and they have done 2 topics only, they still have to cover the remaining 14 topics. So the time duration will eventually hit the PR associated target timing, and the student will not have to suffer of losing their post-study work visa. That's one. Secondly, as I said, the flexibility of taking one course online is the best thing that the university has done for students, because we do understand and realize distant learning is not as easy as it may seem. That's A. B, doing assignments face to face and doing an assignment in an online class are two different things. C, since the actual exposure of entering the country is missing, the student should be given flexibility to start with the minimum load that we can offer. And frankly, if a student calls me and they tell me that, I would like to take the entire semester online, I will never encourage that student to do so. There are multiple factors, which one of which is highly encouraging, which is the time difference now between Adelaide and Pakistan is 4.5 hours. So at 4:30 a.m. Pakistan time, the university opens, and at 12:30 p.m. our time, the university shuts their operation down. So this is the 8-hour timing in which a student will study online. The best thing which has happened for students who are working students, who have jobs or who have their businesses, instead of waking up at 9 a.m. in the morning, they're now waking up at 7:30. So that time period is now being allocated to their online studies, and then they're taking their days forward with it. So we have had a lot of wins with this scenario. Many students who I contact on a daily basis have told me that, this has helped me in enhancing my lifestyle, because I now wake up early, I sleep early. There were a few students who told me that, rather than waking up at 7:30 in the morning, we wake up at 6, we go for a morning jog, we do our exercise, and then we sit in for our classes, we get ready and we go to office. So this exercise has actually helped students in working on their lifestyle as well, and has made them much more confident with the use of technology.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, sir, does your university allow students to get the IELTS waiver or any other alternative English test, like the one Duolingo, which is like going on a worse placement test?
Yes, so we do not offer any IELTS waivers, but what we have done, and the announcement was made yesterday in our webinar as well, that we have accepted Duolingo in the upcoming intakes of 2022 as well. So for any student who is having difficulties in giving IELTS, they can either opt for TOEFL, they can opt for Pearson, and now they can opt for Duolingo as well.
That's great news for the students. So, sir, after completing that degree, does the student get a work permit in your country, and any university provide job placements to the students?
Okay, so after the successful completion of their degrees, a student is entitled to receive a post-study work visa. Since we are a regional city, a student will receive 3 years of post-study work visa. Now, there is a condition. So when a student graduates, they will have to stay back in South Australia for 2 years, and automatically the third year will be attached onto their visa duration. So this is the work permit question that you asked. And secondly, the job opportunities that the university offers, we have an employment bureau at the university. A student can contact them. They can definitely help with any vacancies which are available. They can definitely help a student with making a better resume, which will be acceptable for employers in Australia. And then the work integrated learning opportunity that we offer to students in almost all of our degree programs generally helps the students in attaining a good job. Uh, there are a few instances where a student, when they went for their internships using the work integrated learning study, those organizations were more than happy to hire them upon the successful completion of their degrees. So there are multiple opportunities that the university is offering, the city of Adelaide is offering, the employment bureau is offering. So there's a lot of opportunities which a student has. Yes.
All right, sir. Sir, I would like to know your final words regarding the current situation, the pandemic, obviously, and some positive word for the student to encourage them to apply.
Every time that I speak to a student, I always tell them that it is the best time to apply in Australia. The embassies are happy to issue visas. The universities are happy to offer online classes. The government has told you that the post-study work visa is not going to be jeopardized. And South Australia has now started working towards speaking with the federal government and coming up with ways through which the borders can open up for international students. So there is a lot that Australia is doing for you guys. The only thing, the only recommendation, the only brotherly advice that I would like to give to all of my students is, if you are an offer holder of Flinders University, please make sure you fulfill all of your offer conditions, make your payment, attain your COE, apply for your visa. The embassy is issuing visas these days, so we are very confident that students will attain visas. Start online, show the border agency that you are a genuine student or the most genuine lot that they could have ever got in the entire history of students who have gone to Australia. And once the borders open, feel free to travel, because if you are one of those students who are waiting until the day Australia announces that now we are opening our borders and then you will apply for your visa, then definitely there's always going to be a lot more time that they realistic factors that we have to take into consideration while making a decision. And a few words about the current scenario of COVID. Please stay safe, stay home, wear a mask, sanitize your hands, take care of yourself and your elders if you have them in your house. And inshallah, we look forward to welcoming you in Adelaide once the entire situation gets better. That's all I can say to my fellow students.
All right, sir, that was quite helpful. Thank you so very much for sparing your precious time for us. And I hope this session turns out to be helpful for the students who are willing to study abroad. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. All the best. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.